Hello, this is Marshallee, and welcome to my garden diary. Today is the 18th of June 2021, and it is a hot day. It is about 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and it has been like this for the past 3 days at least. So it is hot, and we are just not used to this weather because the weather changed so quickly. It didn't start and then it just made a steady climb. No, it just went from like 20 to 35 in a couple of days, and so we're all feeling it. So in the garden, the plants are feeling it. Some of them are just hanging down, and some of them are going over faster than they would because they are not able to sustain themselves when it's so hot. But the roses like it. They're like, this is opening so nicely. It is so beautiful. It's so full of roses that I don't know where to focus. So the roses like this kind of weather. And my Clematis Warsaw Nike, I think it might be pronounced differently, but it has opened, and this is the first bloom that opened. It's quite a big flower. So this bloom opened about 3 days ago, and it's, yeah, like everyone else, it's kind of wilting under the sun. But there are quite a bit more buds to open. But this is the first one that opened, and it's also the biggest one on it right now. Some others open afterwards, and this one is not as large. And there's another one here that is not at large. I'm not sure why they're not all consistently the same size. Could be for a number of reasons. I think one might be that I did not cut it back enough, because this clematis needs to be, or like to be, cut back. Look at that. It's such a beautiful bloom, and yeah, so these need to be cut back quite a bit, and I think I did not cut it back enough in autumn. So they should bloom, or this clematis should bloom from about now, which is June, to October. So that's quite a long time for it to be blooming. And the bloom, or the flower on it, is deep purple, and it looks velvety. I'm not sure if that is going to come across in video, but it has a, yeah, maybe there. It has a nice velvety sheen to it, and the blooms can be quite large, so as large as that one, about 14 centimeter, but there are some smaller ones on it, so it depends on what's going on with the plant. And in the middle there's a cream middle to it, cream color stemma, or I'm not sure if that's what it's called. So this is doing nicely, even in all the sun that's going on. And it's clematis are good companion plants for roses. So the idea is that it will go up the other side of this trellis, and then it will mate with the roses. Not that the roses need any companion, because they are just shining. I'm not even sure if that's a good idea, because with the red and the purple, We'll see. I'll just let it grow and see what happens because it's already almost meeting the roses on the trellis right there. We could see. But I think what I'll do, I'll also allow it to trellis going this way as well. And that should, um, yeah, that should make an impact as well. So the foxgloves are also continuing to do well. But I tell you, some of the other plants are just, oh, they are having it crazy. Look at that. This foxglove. It's just hanging down there. It's just being battered by the sun. Those are doing well. So I guess this could also be a video for plants that don't mind having a lot of sun. So the Turkish carnations, they're doing well with the sun. They don't seem to mind. But because it's so hot, of course we have our watering system and we have used that. But what happens when we do that is that some of the plants don't really like being wet, and then it's so hot, so some roses don't deal very well, like this one here, because we watered yesterday, but because of the time that we have, so even 9 o'clock it's still light out and it's still quite warm, and I think we watered about 8:30, and the roses, they were still warm and then wet, and then that's what happened when they get watered, when it's too hot and then they get wet, so then they start looking like that. And the same thing with some of the carnations as well, so they start wilting, or they don't like to get wet, and then it's really hot. And then another rose is this one, doesn't like getting wet, the bloom. But I think generally roses don't like to get wet by watering systems. There's a difference between natural rain and watering the plants with a water system. I don't know what the big difference, because you would think that it's just water and they're being watered and it's being watered from ahead, but look at that. I think it was, yeah, so that's not doing too well with being watered and it being so warm. There's another rose here that doesn't like the heat and then being watered, and it's watered like this one here. It just look burnt. Right, so that's what's happening with some of the plants when it gets too hot, and we're not sure exactly what to do with, should we water, shouldn't we water, but we have to water. If we don't, then everything will just get dry and just shrivel up, like our forget-me-nots here, which I need to get rid of there. So just quickly before I end this video, so this is one plant that, this is, I think, the first plant, the corn bloom, that started blooming, and it's still blooming. There are even some buds that are not open yet. So we have that there, and then there's a bud there that is not open. So I just need to make sure that make sure that these get some water, and they will just continue blooming. But it should stay warm like this for the next couple of days. We might have some very huge thunderstorms, but we are happy for the heat, but it is hot. Okay, So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that where you are, that you have a nice comfortable temperature, and that if it's hot like here, you're able to cool off. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.